welcome you to the webinar, The Synergy of AI and Advacheck, leading the way to the academic integrity. My name is Anna Shevchuk. I'm an Advacheck educational consultant. And actually, you're welcome to introduce yourself in the chat. Who are you, from country you are, from what organization you are, so that we would get to know each other better. So I will really appreciate your introducing yourself in the chat. Some tips for today while you're making this. So our session will last for about 60 minutes today, and it will be recorded and shared with you afterwards. Please use the chat for introducing yourself, for answering my questions, and please the Q&A tab for answers for questions, and I will give you the answers in the end of the session. And one more thing, for those who will stay till the end of the session, we will send also the certificates of participation in this session. So, as the quote for today's session, I've taken these words of Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO, and he said that potential of AI is limitless. And I think you will agree with me and with him that it is indeed so. But it's up to us how to determine how we use it, so that the AI is just a tool, and the main the main person here is the human being, not AI. Today we'll consider the situation and the threats that we are meeting with now when the AI have appeared and it was introduced. We'll discuss some practical solutions, and we'll see the functionality of Advacheck system, so how we deal in the system with these threats. And I will show you also some more ways how to define AI in case, for example, you are not yet the customer of Advacheck system, but you need to check some text. Okay, let's start. And I want to start with this kind of provocative question, the discussion about the academic integrity in AI. Is deception evolution inevitable? Is the fraud that AI might bring with it is just inevitable, and we can do nothing? So let's see. First of all, let's decide what academic integrity mean at all. I've taken this definition from European Network for Academic Integrity, and they say that academic integrity is the compliance with ethical and professional principles, standards, practices, some system of values that is a guide for making decisions, for making solutions, taking actions in education, in science, in research, in scholarship. So according to these guides, according to these ethical principles, if we talk about the higher education, so here the academic is committed to uphold the integrity according to these principles, and according to them, making teaching, learning, and making assessment for the students. If we speak about the history of the difficulties and challenges that academic integrity met, so if we start from the time before AI was invented, before AI was introduced to the world. So merely there were the challenges of using copy-paste, of using inappropriate citation, and patch writing. Then in early 2000s, there appeared the first plagiarism detection systems, but we know that they were quite weak in defining this type of challenges, this type of frauds, because the base was quite narrow, quite small, and of course, in that time, the AI wasn't introduced yet, so it was just a comparison between the base that had the plagiarism detection system and the text that we upload there. And I want to share with you the results of the questionnaire. A very interesting one. It was taken from two universities in Indonesia in March 2019. So you remember that these are the times before AI was introduced. And what there was the questionnaire about what is considered to be the plagiarism according to the students and what is not. And here are the details that what actions were considered that not a plagiarism by them. So we see, first of all, copying from sources without citation. So it's okay. It's just a weighted percentage. 0.6% out of those students said that copying without sources, without citation is a plagiarism. No, no any surprise here. But if we go further, you can see that almost 30% of the students treat paraphrasing by translating from other languages and translating from other languages without citation as not a plagiarism. Even more than 60% out of that students treat the statements from own publication, so it means self-plagiarism, also as not a plagiarism. Combining various statements from source and mixing with own ideas is also treated not a plagiarism. Paraphrasing and you can see that up to 90% of the students treat patch writing or mosaic plagiarism as not a plagiarism at all. Can you imagine? This was before the AI era, but I would say that this situation is more or less general all over the world, and indeed it can be so even after AI is introduced to the public. But actually, I given the web link to this research, so you can afterwards see it in more details. But on November the 30th 2022, there was ChatGPT introduced and presented for the general use. And it means that it completely changed everything in academia, for academic integrity. Why was it kind of a turning point? You see these lines from the newspapers. So, although AI has brought us many pluses, yes, many handy things about writing, about teaching, about learning, yet there were some uncertainty from the university and from the higher education. The universities faced the challenges of how to define whether the text was written by the student or by AI, how to, is there any guide how to define whether it is a human text or not? And indeed, actually, we will talk about it today as well. So, not only universities were concerned about the appearance of AI in the world, but also the science journals, as you see that they are quite often, well, not often, but all they do is working with the authors. Fortunately, after that time, the organizations worldwide have developed various policies to guide the integration of AI into our life. And actually, the process is still going on. Uh, you might probably know that there are some certain universities that completely banned, for example, as far as I remember, the Cambridge University completely banned the usage of AI for the students. And if we take Tokyo University, they vice versa, they accepted it and have the certain guide how to use it in the student's life. So these are the web links to the different organizations like Committee of Publication Ethics, different journals, and also to UNESCO. So they have the different policies on using the AI. Now I have the question to you. Do you have in your university any policy concerning the usage of AI? Do you have it? Do these type of policies were introduced in your university? I see that we have the universities from Tanzania, from Oman, from Zimbabwe. So you're welcome to put it in the chat. Do you know whether you have any policy in your university about the using of AI? Mm-hmm. Okay, no policy introduced, I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, this is a problem yet, as too little time has passed. No policy. Thank you. So too little time has passed since the policy has been, since AI was introduced for the general use for the students and for the teachers. So the concerns are still here. How to handle what and how shall we deal with it? In Namibia University, uh, there's no, okay, we do not have, but developing one, okay. No policy at the moment. Okay, thank you very much. So we see that this question is really being developed now, and the solution is being developed for the universities. Okay, if we talk about the pros and cons of AI usage in higher education, of course, there are certain more, but one of the main ones among the pros, the personalized learning, the global accessibility, so everybody can reach it, innovative teaching tools, the tools that enable to make the learning for each student almost individual. Yes, and there are certain cons like privacy concerns. We don't know how the AI will use our text. Yes, the dependence on the technology. If we use the technology all the time, in case of some break, for example, of the internet, we are here without any technology at all. And of course, the breach of academic integrity. And if we see those challenges, you remember the challenges that I've showed you some time ago before the AI era. So there are over certain of them, some of them. But here are the challenges that we meet nowadays, and they are much more complicated. Among them, the plagiarism. So, of course, the plagiarism haven't disappeared. And despite that, AI technology is now enables to define the original text, still yet we have the plagiarism problem here. Then the use of paraphrasing. And with the introduced AI, we have the automated and internet-based paraphrase. It's much more smarter than the one that we used to know beforehand. The patch writing, including automated. So when the ideas of different authors is taken from different sources and combined in one, but of course without any citation. The cross-lingual text reuse and including machine translate text generation. So you see that previously it was the translation, I would say word to word, yes, because the language is kind of thing that we can translate ambiguously. And now with introduced AI, the text that we have after AI translation is very much close to the human speech. And of course, the AI content generation. Of course, we cannot do, but this is the thing that concerns everybody a lot. And actually, with all these challenges that I've shown you just now, is Advacheck plagiarism detection system will have the best way to tackle it. Advacheck is the system which can detect the AI in the text, and not only that. So let's look a bit deeply about the functionality of AI. These are the challenges that I've just actually listed to you: the cross-lingual text reuse detection, the paraphrase detection, the detection of AI, and some more as correct handling of quotations and text recycling, which is also very important in the text, and also detection of attempts to hide plagiarism and text manipulation, so the change of the text. This is how we see the report of Advacheck. We can see the percentage of originality, similarity quotes, and text recycling. What is very handy that any similarity is marked with certain color, so you always know what type of similarity you have met. We have many mini pages and the list of the sources that can be checked directly from the report. So you can go to the external link just directly from the system and check whether the text that was found as a similarity is the one or not the one. Advacheck has quite a big base for indexed database. So it's more than 1.3 billion scientific documents in the database, and more than 1 trillion total indexed web pages. What do all these enormous figures mean? It means that the quality of the checking of the text will be very, very high. So you would know indeed whether the text have any similarity among these web pages or not. And what is more interesting, that Advacheck has the possibility to add the certain documents of the organization into the database. For example, those documents that are not included into the internet database, into open sources or closed sources, but those for example, which were archived and now currently is kept in the organization. So these can be added as well, and the comparison will go including with this database that the organization can create by herself. Okay, if we speak about those challenges one by one, just how Advacheck defining them. If you remember, the first thing that we were talking about is plagiarism, direct or mosaic plagiarism. This is the example of how Advacheck has found the text in the source, and there are certain instruments for defining the source text. So you see here the 2 pages, and this is the tool. If we push it after the source is found, we can see this type of the text just directly in the same window. So we don't need to go anywhere in the web page, but we see directly, and we can compare two texts: the text of our author, the text that we are checking, and we can compare it with the text of the source that was found by Advacheck. And here I actually added and changed words I have underlined, so you can just compare whether the text is the same or not. The same thing about paraphrasing. The certain modules of Advacheck, like English here, English Internet Paraphrase, IEEE Paraphrase is indicated, and the same thing with the help of the comparison tool, we can see whether the text found is the same or was it somehow changed. So paraphrasing is getting smarter and smarter now, so the text is changed, yet we can see whether it is the one that we looking for or not. What we must remember about the paraphrasing is that it always detected a similarity, so it will always be in red color. Yet we must analyze the text, and this is actually the must. The most important thing when you check the author's text is not to give everything to the machine. We have just talked in the beginning of the webinar that AI and in Advacheck we use the technology of AI for defining this type of the text. It's a tool. So the main person here is the human being, and the only human being can define whether this is a similarity of the paraphrasing or not. So as the paraphrasing can be just a tool of indirect quotation. So if the author has added the citation and added the author of the quote. Cross-lingual text reuse. This is quite a popular thing now because there are certain causes for this, because it's quite difficult to hide the plagiarism if we just copy-paste from one text to another. So indeed, with nowadays technologies, it will be found just in a moment. And the quality of machine translation services is now really improving. The translations get smarter and smarter. And of course, it's difficult to detect because the same sentence can be translated differently in different ways. So it means that it's really difficult to detect. Here, this is the example of the found cross-lingual text reuse. We have the module of cross-language English Internet, so the text is in French. Again, if we push the tool of comparison of the text, we can see in the same window, we can see the original text in English, and what is more handy here is that we have the possibility to switch between all the text that was found, and simultaneously the found text, the found translation will be shown in the text. So you can just browse through all the sources, all the translation, and see whether it is the same or not. Actually, here it is quite visible that it is really a translation. You can see the same words here and here. But again, what we must remember about the cross-lingual text reuse, that it is always detected as similarity, so it will be again seen as in red color, and it is often used together with paraphrasing, so we translate plus we paraphrase, just because according to ambiguous translation. And we must analyze the fragment, because again, this can be a tool of indirect quotation, or of course can be an attempt to hide the text reuse. And the last thing about, or what we have talked about, is AI text creation. Actually, what must be remembered currently, at least about AI text? First of all, it is impossible to determine the generated text with 100% reliability. Although I know that there are certain tools currently is introduced, and the creators say that it will definitely define whether the text is AI generated or not. So at the current moment, there is no 100% reliability tool for defining whether it is AI or not. Again, we're talking about the human being here is the main person in comparison to AI. And there are certain features of AI-generated text. Usually they have up to 99% of originality. There are certain so-called hallucinations, the false facts, non-existent people. Also, there are multiple repetitions of one and the same idea in different ways. So in different words, in different paragraphs, but it's clearly seen by the expert, the one who is checking the document. And there can be errors in terminology. This is how we can define the AI in Advacheck system. So usually when the document is checked, we see this kind of exclamation mark here with the results of the document. If we push see results, there is quite warning, a red band that says that there is a suspicious document that contains generated text. If we push details button, we can see the page of the suspicious document. Here you can see that the text is marked with red, and there are certain indication of the pages where the fake text detection is found. But there appears a question, usually, and well, I would say that it's kind of often cases when you check the work or when you check the paper, and the author or the student says that, but this is me who did the work. I haven't used AI. So what is the way out? How shall we deal with this kind of text? Again, as with cross-lingual text reuse, as with paraphrasing, we should first of all take the expertise of the text, take the analysis of the text. I list here for you the certain features that can be used to detect whether the text was written by AI or not. So actually, this is a good thing to print it out when you're checking the document and see it. So what are the features? First of all, patterns or irregularities in the language. Usually the text that was written by AI is not kind of close to the human speech. You will definitely find something that is out of a human speech. Repetitive phrases, ideas, or words. This is what we have talked about a bit earlier. Yes, so the same idea is kind of repeated, see it repetitive with all the text from there to another paragraph, and it's really clearly seen that something is wrong. Inconsistent use of the language, something that is not used correctly. Incorrect sources and citation. So it's an often thing when you send some quote of the author to the AI and ask whether you created it, and AI says that yes, that was me. And it's an interesting thing. The factual errors, of course, if you are an expert in this or that activity I mean, about the science, you will definitely find whether something is wrong about the facts. Generic and not tailored to a specific audience text. So usually AI creates the text very general one, something that can fit to all the audiences. But if we speak about the human being, of course, the human being knows its audience to whom the text was written. Banalities and obvious assertions. So it's an often thing that something is really obvious, is indicated in the text, and it's really seen from the first glance. And direct indications for using an AI. And this is this thing that a very interesting one when you meet in the essays, in the even in the articles in the journals, when you see, for example, the words that are typical for ChatGPT, like, okay, this is what I would say, yes, or do you want something more? Yes, so this is the phrases that ChatGPT is using, and they are often, if the author is trying to make some sorry, if the author is making some cheating, so it would definitely be seen in the text. Okay, so according to those features, you can define whether it is AI or not. And even if the student tells that this was me that was creating this text, you can definitely say that, I'm sorry, but you have repetitive phrases. Why do we need them in the text? Or you have the irregularity in the language. So of course, it's not a good thing. So it's better to correct the text so that it will be seen clearly for those who will read it. But if you're sure that this text is not AI, there is a possibility to disable the flag of fake detection in the system. So you can just put off and it will be disabled, and you can add the comment that this is the text that was written by the students, no AI text found, or something like this. So again, what to remember? The generated text detection is a preliminary one. So the expert is the main person who detect whether it is AI generated text or not, who will take the final decision. And the analysis of generated text is a must, of course. One more thing. We are going to interesting part. What if there is no Advacheck yet available? If you are not a customer yet of Advacheck, but you will need to detect whether it is AI text or not. I have a good news here, because we have quite a handy detector of AI text just directly on Advacheck site. You can go with QR code, or just from the web link that I show you in the screen. So this is the example of the text that was just copy-paste into the detector. It will accept from 2000 to 2 billion characters there, and it will show you the percentage of AI text that you have just uploaded into the detector. Again, the AI generated text, just as in the system, it is highlighted, and you can see here that the part of the text is generated and the text that is black and white is not. So it's very handy in case you need to detect whether there is an AI in the text or not. So welcome to try it. It is completely free on our website. And one more thing that I wanted to tell you about the detection is image search in Advacheck. Actually, this problem of reuse of pictures is really on a high level currently. The retraction of the articles due to problems with images and plagiarism and falsification is on the first place. Can you imagine? This is on the first place within the journals, the science journals, and really the number of such articles is really increasing from year to year. And Advacheck has the feature to observe the academic integrity, to observe the author's right to the images. The images are often used in student papers of medical, biological universities, in articles of scientific journals, and currently in Advacheck, it works only for PDF documents. But this is how it works. You can see that we have the image from the document, and the Advacheck system has found the same image, and this is indicated that image from the source. So you can see what is the title of the source, on what page the same picture was found, the publication date, so you can compare the dates of your document and the publication date of the document from the source, and you have the direct link to the source. Just you can click and go to this document where the same image is found. And you can see here also that this image was found in more than one source, and also the information about the rest sources is indicated here. So to my mind, this is really a handy thing to help to observe the image rights to the images. Okay, so actually we have reached the final slides. If we sum up, so the science world and the universities currently is concerned about the violations of academic integrity after AI was introduced to the world in November 2022. The most challenging violations are cross-lingual text reuse, the paraphrasing, AI-generated text and image plagiarism, and all these challenges can be prevented by using Advacheck AI detection and plagiarism detection system. It has enormously large database for in indexed web pages and science pages, so you will be sure in the quality of the checking of the document. And also there are special features like image check for preventing the violation of academic integrity. Okay, so for those who would like to try, we have actually this I have this slide, so we have the contacts on our website, and so you can just click on the here I put the link into the chat. You can just go through this link and send your details, and our sales will contact you so that you have the free trial period, so you can try all these features that I have just shown you by yourself, and you can ensure how large the database of Advacheck and how handy the usage of Advacheck system. Okay, so we have some web pages on LinkedIn, and we have the website, so we can browse it. I remind you about the detector of AI text that you can also find on the website, and where you can request the free trial. Now it's time for questions. Let me check whether there are any on Q&A. No on Q&A. Can AI detect similarities from images? Usually they do not detect. So this was the question in the chat, and I would propose you to request actually the free trial just to test this possibility in Advacheck system. So actually, to my mind, this one is really, really handy one. Okay. Anything more? ChatGPT, so it's not a question, it's an indication that ChatGPT gives false information sometimes, especially on references. Yes, indeed. And actually, this is one of the things that I've also listed you in the features of AI created text. Free trial period, how long, and how description modes. So I would ask you to contact our sales, so they will tell you more. Actually, I have no exact information, don't want to mislead you, but you can be sure that it will be enough for you to test everything that you need in the system. Okay, if not more question, I cannot find any. I thank you for your attention. It was really, really pleasant to talk with you today, to see your answers, and they were really the really detailed one, and I really thank you for the attention. I wish you the good day. Welcome you to test Advacheck system and test everything that I've just shown you by yourself, and to decide whether it fits you or not. So thank you for attention. I hope we'll see in some day, and goodbye.